Kia ora team, today we're going to be looking, carrying on from our last video where we were looking at responsible behaviour for safety in outdoor education activities. In the previous video we identified three categories of risks. These were people, equipment and environment. The image in this slide identifies examples of risks in the people category. The safety management component on the right identifies strategies to minimise these risks. And for example, if we look at the first one, the risk is identified as difficulty with survival swimming skills and a lack of rescue knowledge. And then if you have a look on the right, to minimise those risks, we've identified to teach participants to swim in white water and to brief the group on rescue procedures beforehand. The same goes for equipment and environment on this slide. An example for each of these include, and we're just looking at the top here for equipment, risks, wetsuits not thick enough for cold water, no footwear for transiting. And the safety management component or way to minimise the risk is ensure thick wetsuits are accessed in advance and bring sturdy shoes. Looking down to environment, just down here, heavy rainfall exposure to cold and wet conditions, possible hypothermia is a risk, and to minimise that risk, thick wetsuits, warm waterproof clothing for afterwards, and hot food or drink. Participating in an outdoor education activity requires a partnership to be formed between group members and the instructors. There are a number of areas in which participants can take direct control of their involvement to ensure an outdoor activity is both a challenging and enjoyable experience. For example, improving skills. This involves practicing progressively harder activities, learning how to use equipment, and asking for instructions when required. Health and fitness, developing endurance to prevent physical and mental fatigue, informing of health issues and carrying your correct medication. Promoting teamwork, learn strengths and weaknesses of the group, actively support those who require extra assistance. Equipment, look after the equipment to reduce incidences of damage. Report damage as soon as it occurs. Leadership and group unity, follow the lead of the instructors, actively support group decisions, maintain group unity, and take a role to sort out the problems. Increase knowledge. Understand main requirements of the activity, including safety measures and/or emergency procedures. Personal and social responsibility refers to a person's ability to be a good example and to care for the needs of others. To be a socially responsible person, you need to take personal responsibility for the actions that will show you are a good example to others and that you can care for the needs of others. Sorry about the typo there. The above image here shows the Hellison's model. Now the Hellison's model was developed to help students learn to be responsible by giving them increasing amounts of responsibility and by carefully shifting a significant portion of decision-making responsibilities to them or to you. The model promotes self and social responsibility by empowering you to take more responsibility for your actions and lives and by teaching you to be concerned about the rights, feelings and needs of others. The model strives to help you feel empowered, to experience making commitments to yourselves and to others, and to live by a set of principles. It also helps you to be concerned about the well-being of others. As you can see here, there are 5 levels on Hellison's model, and each one has an increasing amount of social responsibility required for you to be participating at that level. It's quite good to often stop during an activity and just consider what level on the Hellison's model you think you'll be working to and how you can, or what you can do to get to the next level. Personal differences that exist within groups. Being in a group inevitably means having to deal with and manage interactions with a number of individuals who have different values and different ways of doing things. Acknowledging and accepting personal differences and becoming aware of how they can help or hinder the effective functioning of a group are the key parts to a group success. When people form groups, they often show different strengths and weaknesses in the way they work together. There are many models that describe these group roles. It's important when working in groups not to label people with the role they most comfortably and naturally want to take up. The purpose of learning about working together as a team is to develop the skills required to take on a number of possible roles, and not necessarily all at once. Some common group roles include the motivator. So this person energizes the group and motivates others to get the job done. Then there's the socializer. Socializer makes sure that everyone is getting on with one another and that everyone feels a part of the group. Then you have the supporter. The supporter keeps the group on task. They support the leader and help to apply the leader's decisions. And finally, the leader. The leader initiates decision making and organises group members to perform specific tasks. When we talk about teamwork, we can learn a lot from geese. Now I'd like you to click on the pop-up that'll appear about now and have a look at this video regarding some of the lessons that we can take from geese. It's quite a cool little video. Being involved in group activities requires people to put the needs of the team ahead of their own needs. Most people have heard the saying that there is no I in team. This means that a person is required to make sacrifices and use discipline and effort on behalf of the team, not just for their own benefit. When each member of a group can achieve such values individually, the team will ultimately benefit. A team player recognises that not everyone will think and behave like them, and respects and accepts that others are different from them. Have a quick read through of the qualities of a team player as identified in the picture. So you've got their trust, effort, attitude and motivating. As part of our assessment, you need to demonstrate and show understanding of responsible behaviour for safety during outdoor education activities. We've identified 2 behaviours you'll be required to demonstrate during this assessment. You'll need to unpack these terms to understand different ways you can demonstrate them during the term. Self-management and teamwork are the 2 behaviours you need to have a sound understanding of. Please make sure that you've done a little bit of research about these 2 strategies prior to your next theory. For my class, that's tomorrow, Friday. Miss Cottrell's class, I think, are already looking at these 2 terms here. So we'll be unpacking the terms to ensure that your knowledge and understanding of them will allow you to demonstrate them at the highest level. And that's what we want. We want you guys achieving merit excellence all year round. So it pays to have a sound understanding of these 2 terms here and how you can apply them in the class.